Hi, and a very warm welcome to the inaugural episode of our series titled The Great Indian Roads. No, it's not another travel show, but a serious attempt to know and learn about the real India, the pulse of India, that is, its villages. And believe me, we would not just be concentrating on the scenic splendor and the tourist places of our country. Our aim would be to bring out the rich diversity in India in terms of its people, their culture, the religion, the dance, both folk and classical, the flora and fauna, the climatic conditions, and of course, my favorite part, the mouth-watering delicacies from every region we go to. Let's see. Our attempt to unearth the rich diversity of India will be solely guided by the local climatic condition of that area. That is, when nature is at its very best in that particular region, so that we can actually capture the scenic splendor of that beautiful area. Thank you. The weather out here is really warm. And this is really quenching, a blessing in disguise. I'm in the city of Mangalore, a city not only known for its historic past, the scenic splendor, but also considered one of the pioneers to step into the industrial dawn. This is a beautiful place, very nice. Beautiful city of Mangalore was once upon a time a major seaport and a shipbuilding center of Hyder Ali's time. Today, it is a major center of export for cashew nuts and coffee. And mind you, the local dialect here is not Kannada, but Tulu or Konkani. Mangalore got its name from this famous temple called the Mangala Devi Temple. Now, Mangala Devi is supposed to be an incarnation of goddess Durga. Moreover, the Mangaloreans feel that they get Shakti out of goddess Mangala Devi. Now, this statue of Mangala Devi is said to be around 3,000 years old. Yes, I said 3,000. Mangalore is a classic example of peaceful coexistence of religions. In the heart of the city lies the Melagrus Church, which is devoted to the Lady of Miracles, that's Mother Mary. The land for this church was donated by the famous Hindu queen Chinnamma of Kittur as early as 1680 AD and attained its present form in 1907 AD. Today, it is one of the holiest places for all Mangaloreans. Another famous temple in Mangalore is the Kadri Temple, where I'm standing right now. The main deity out here is of Lord Siva. Now, this temple is famous for its bronze statue of Lord Sri Lokeshwara, which was built in 968 AD. Old na? Really good. We will now travel southwards along the National Highway 17 to explore the entire length and breadth of Kerala, also popularly known as the land of green magic. Now, according to popular legend, Lord Vishnu, after destroying the evil kings, descended from the heavens in his own incarnation of Parsuram. To penance for the waging war, he threw his axe into the sea, and the area from the shaft to the blade rose from the sea and became the prosperous and the rich Kerala as we see it now. The roads in Kerala are very hard to believe. There are trees lined along the roads throughout Kerala, and this is unbelievable. This road out here is about 1.45 meters wide. After driving down 27 kilometers of lush green vegetation, we are about to enter Bekal, situated in the Kasaragod district of Kerala. I'm about 1 kilometer from Bekal Fort, and believe me, had no intentions of stopping here. But the people in Kerala are so magically, yes, that is the word for them, hospitable, that these fishermen actually insisted that I join them for a fishing spree. One of the distinguishing features of Bekal town is the Bekal Fort, where I'm standing right now. This was built by a king called Cheriapally Church in 1765 AD and was very famous for trade purposes, basically maritime trade. The beauty of Kerala has indeed left me spellbound, and I'm really excited to know a little more about people. In order to do that, I'm going to board a bus as soon as possible. In fact, I see one here. बैठो। हेलो।
हेलो।
हिंदी आती है?
हाँ, थोड़ा थोड़ा बोलो।
इंग्लिश आती है?
हाँ।
Where are you from?
I'm from Kanwal.
How are the roads in Kerala?
Fine. हाँ.
Fine. Better. Okay. Have you been to Delhi? Look at the camera से.
एक बार आए थे.
Okay. एक बार गया था. I hope you liked our first attempt to portray India's rich cultural heritage. There is a lot more to go as we travel southwards towards Kannur in our next episode. So stay with us. Hi folks, and welcome to yet another episode of The Great Indian Roads. And I hope you remember visiting the circus people of Talasore in the last episode. Do you? Today I'm at Mahe, which is about 8 kilometers from Talasore. Neither in Karnataka nor in Kerala, but a union territory. Situated on the mouth of the Mahe river, the total area of this place is just 9 square kilometers. Would you believe that? That small? The most distinct aspect of this little town is the French influence prevalent here, as it was a small French dependency handed over to us at the same time when Pondicherry was. The very first English factory on the Malabar coast was established here in 1683 by the Surat Presidency to purchase cardamom and pepper. The East India Company established this fort in 1708, but sadly, this is the current situation. Molluscus. Do you know what this is? This is the molluscus fish. The outer part of the fish, the hardened part, is the shell. And this is the fish inside. Kitne rupaye ka bhaiya? 60 rupaye ka kilo. Oh, he knows Hindi. Thank God. It's supposed to be a very popular delicacy of Kerala. According to popular myth in Mahe, all the people of Mahe who die are reborn as flies and later again as locals of Mahe. Imagine how attached the people of Mahe would be to this place. Life and its truths are indeed very strange and bizarre. Today, this place Mahe is very famous for its sea-skirting roads and a variety of liquor available here. On my way to Vadakara, I diverged from National Highway 17 towards the famous Kavu Temple, about 5 kilometers from Vadakara. This is the famous Malayar Bhagwati Temple, today called the Bhagwati Temple. Probably the name was changed because of pronunciation. Same problem for me also. This temple is said to be around 1500 years old, and the main deity is of goddess Durga, Lord Siva and Lord Vishnu. This temple adorns a festive look in the month of March and April, but sadly is only open for Hindus. This is the place where the idols of Durga are immersed after the carnival is over. We are now crossing Vadakara, situated on the banks of Kottayam river and heading towards Kozhikode. I must confess, by now I've fallen in love with Kerala and its people. The landscape dominated by rice fields, the palm trees and the coconut trees is simply breathtaking. Its western ghats with their dense tropical forests, misty peaks and extensive ridges and ravines is majestic. Last but not the least, its beaches have a charm of their own. This combination of scenic splendor, not found anywhere in the world, has simply left me dumbstruck.
Just 5 kilometers from Thirunakara is this quaint village called Payoli, which gave birth to one of the greatest freedom fighters of India called Kunjali Marikya, who was a thorn in the flesh of both Portuguese and English. I'm here to pay my homage to this great man.
This small village is famous for yet another fighter. This time not a freedom fighter, but a fighter on the tracks called PT Usha, another great achiever of this country. Isn't this place just great? Okay folks, it's time to say goodbye. Next week we are going to a place called Kappad, where Vasco da Gama first landed, and also Kozhikode. Wait till next time then. Bye. Namaskaram. Ningal Kalarkum. That means welcome all of you. Now my love for Kerala has indeed helped me grasp this difficult language, Malayalam. Probably that will happen to you also if you visit this place.
We are in Kappad right now, which is about 16 kilometers from Kozhikode. This is the place where Vasco da Gama first landed on 17th May 1498 on his favorite ship called Saint Raphael. This pillar out here has been built to commemorate this great event. You know, viewers, when the Portuguese first landed here, they were very surprised with the fact that Christianity was already prevalent here, but equally annoyed when they came to know that people did not know about the Pope's existence. Set amidst this beautiful background, in fact, picturesque background, the beauty of this place is just phenomenal, awesome.
Roll, roll.
I can't do this, okay? Well, friends, it's time for me to leave this calm haven and head for Kozhikode.
Well, we seem to have entered Kozhikode, a city which boasts of a very colorful past, but still maintains its commercial tradition as steamers visit it even today.
Calicut, or popularly known as Kozhikode, was once upon a time a major seaport and also the capital of the Zamorians, or the Lords of the Seas. The history of this place has been extremely turbulent since 1498. The Portuguese attacked this place in 1509 and again in 1510, although it couldn't be captured, but it was virtually destroyed. Tipu Sultan attacked this place in 1789 and laid the entire region to waste. It was finally captured by the Britishers in 1792. In the heart of the city lies the Manachira ground, where I'm standing right now. Around here are important institutions like the public library, the town hall, and various other places.
Due to its illustrious past, there are plenty of museums in the city, like the Parsi Raja Museum and the Krishna Menon Art Gallery, located on this east hill. I'm right now at Narayan Gurukul's Kalori Center, where the ancient martial art form of Kerala is being performed, called Kalayaripaita.
While passing through Kerala, it would be an injustice if I didn't witness the ancient martial art form of this place called Kalayaripattu, which is said to be around 1,000 years old. No trip is complete to Kozhikode without having the Kozhikode biryani. The thing that makes it different from the other biryanis is probably the dried chicken used in it. And believe me, it's really, really yum. Bepur, just 7 kilometers from Kozhikode, is very famous for its timber industry and shipbuilding. This ship, which you and I can see, is all set to battle the seas. Doesn't it remind you of famous Titanic? It reminds me of that. It takes around 2 to 3 years to build this awesome huge structure. Imagine the sweat and toil gone to make this structure.
With this, we come to the end of our 4th episode. But I promise you, next time I'm going to take you to a whole new town called Trichy. So stay with me. For now, ciao.
Hi folks, and welcome to the 7th episode of the Great Indian Roads. As far as I'm concerned, I'm having a wonderful time discovering, in fact rediscovering India and traveling down the vast network of roads which India boasts of. I've made a brief stopover at Purnathreyesa Temple, which is dedicated to Lord Vishnu. In fact, I've come here at a very good time when a marriage ceremony is just about to happen. So let's witness it. This temple is said to be around 1,000 years old, but sadly was destroyed in an accident caused by a fire around 100 years ago. Only this portion of the temple was left, and the entire building of the temple was rebuilt. You come for the marriage here? How are you related to the bride and groom? Neighbor. You're the neighbor? And what about you? Neighbor. She's your daughter? She's married? My first-hand experience of interacting with the people of India has indeed left me dumbstruck. And believe it or not, the rich cultural heritage of India is unparalleled to the entire world.
Now driving down the KK road from Kochi to Kottayam, which is parallel to the National Highway 47, which is right from Kochi to Kanyakumari.
We're now in Vaikam, which is about 40 kilometers from Kochi and is situated on the banks of Vembanathan Lake.
This is the famous Siva Temple of Vaikam, which was the venue of the Satyagraha in 1925 for admission of Harijans to the temple.
It's time for me to leave for Ettamanur, which is about 27 kilometers from Vaikam. So follow me. This is the Siva Temple, built in 16 AD and is a perfect specimen of Kerala architecture.
When here, it will be very unfair on my part if I don't visit the Athirampuzha Church. This St. Mary's Church has the St. Sebastian's Festival, which is very famous for its fireworks, which we're going to witness tonight. This church was built in 835 AD on land given by a Brahmin family called Itanasari Illam and later rebuilt in 1965.
The main festival, as we all know, is the St. Sebastian's Festival, and St. Sebastian, according to the locals, is considered to be a savior from smallpox. The procession for the festival has just started and it's going to take around 2-3 hours. It's going to go around the town and come back. And believe me, the light, the color and the sounds are hard to believe. We are in the Thirunakara Siva Temple, where only Hindus can enter. As far as selective entry is concerned, India sadly is still deeply rooted to the past. And even the state of 100% literacy and where religious harmony does exist, discrimination is also there. This is a Syrian Christian church, the Cheriapally Church, also called St. Mary's Orthodox Church. And isn't the building, in fact the structure of the building, indeed elegant? Also, the paintings in the interiors owe their colors to a 400-year-old vegetable dye. This is the Valiapally Church, also called the St. Mary's Church and also called the bigger church, although it's smaller than the Cheriapally Church. This church was built in 1550 AD and the altar here is flanked by crosses. The one on the left side is the original one and the one on the right side is said to be a copy. Another important feature of this church is the guest book, which dates back to 1898 AD. And according to this guest book, the first visitor to this place was Mark Dionysius way back in 1898 AD. Kottayam lies in the foothills of the Western Ghats. Our country has given birth to various religions, Buddhism, Hinduism, and didn't lag behind in accepting Christianity in its fold also. Today, Kottayam has the maximum number of Christians. Okay folks, it's time for me to say goodbye. See you next week at Tekli. Till then, take care. Hi folks, and welcome to the 8th episode of the Great Indian Roads. And as you can see, I'm heading towards Periyar Wildlife Sanctuary at Thekari. The rubber plantation on both sides of the crossing, in fact the road, signify that we are crossing Cheriapally. The entire stretch from Cheriapally to Kottayam is not only famous for its rubber plantation, but is also a favorite spot for all the traders dealing in rubber, cardamom and other spices. My trip to this wonderful state, Kerala, the land of the misty peaks, the dense forest, the rubber, the tea and the cardamom plantations, the wonderful people, the rich cultural heritage, the wide roads, has rightly earned its name, God's own country. Well folks, I'm just about to enter the Periyar Wildlife Sanctuary, which is the southernmost tiger reserve in India.
To spot animals, more of animals in fact, the local people suggested that I go for a boat ride. This is an artificial lake which was built by the Britishers in 1895 across the Periyar River by forming a masonry dam to provide water to the ancient people of Madurai. In fact, the tropical forests surrounding this lake make it look even more beautiful. Well guys, you must be envying me, but isn't it exciting? The Periyar Tiger Sanctuary is spread in 777 square kilometers and boasts of 35 tigers and leopards. These wildcats need an enormous territory to lead their solitary lives.
The sanctuary is home to a wide variety of birds, sambars, antelopes, tigers, leopards, wild boars, and 750 elephants. Would you believe that? 750 elephants. What a wild, wild place. But sadly, although there are a number of animals here, it's very difficult to spot one. I feel like the Jane of Tarzan sitting on this tree, and from here I can see the entire stretch of the wildlife sanctuary, and believe me, it indeed is an overwhelming experience. Dusk is encompassing the entire area, and it's time for me to leave the beasts of jungle in peace. Right opposite Thekuri is the Tamil Nadu border, but I'm not going to take you to Tamil Nadu this week. I'll probably take you there in the next weeks to come. So stay with me if you want to see Tamil Nadu after Kerala. In fact, right behind me are the pepper seeds, which are popularly known as the black gold. And this here is the cardamom, also known as elaichi. In fact, Kerala's cardamom are considered to be the best in the entire world. I am in a tea plantation in Kumli, and all around me are the tea bushes. Now from every branch, about 2 leaves and a bud are plucked and further processed into the tea leaves that you and I get in the market. These are the 2 leaves and this is the bud. I'm at the Vijnana Kalavedi, a cultural center located in Aranmulla on the banks of the holy river Pamba, the cultural capital of the Pathanamthitta district. The purpose of this institute is twofold. 1, to preserve the traditional art and crafts of India, and 2, to make the foreigners acquainted with the culture of India. The main disciplines being taught here are Kollam, Cheriapally, Bharatanatyam, Kathakali, percussion instruments, Carnatic music, wood carving, amongst others. And the person behind this commendable effort is surprisingly not an Indian but a French lady called Luba Shields, who came to India to learn Kathakali and ended up devoting her entire life to preserve our culture. Isn't it great?
Hats off to this great lady and her efforts to preserve our culture. I hope it inspires a whole lot of you. Namaskaram.
Hi folks, and welcome to the 10th episode of The Great Indian Roads. By now you must be addicted to our series. Our attempt has been to bring out the very essence of India in terms of its people, their culture, their religion, the flora and fauna, the dance form, the art, the food, and everything that we could bring to you. And I'm sure you must be pleased with our efforts to portray India in all its traditional richness.
I'm driving down National Highway 47 to Kollam, which is situated on the banks of Ashmati Lake. Now, once upon a time, a big port where the Greek and Arab came to trade, and later the Portuguese, English and Dutch came to trade. More about it as we reach there, because right now I'm about to enter Kollam.
This is the Krishnapuram Palace, built in the 18th century during the reign of Marthanda Varma. This palace, with its gabled roof, narrow corridors and domed windows, is characteristic of Kerala's architectural individuality. Besides that, there are murals on the poolside and a museum situated right in the center of the palace. It's time for me to hit the road once again and tell you a little more about Kollam.
Today, Kollam is a very friendly and a busy place, where cashew and pepper are still transported on little country boats. Another historical aspect of this place is that the Malayalam era is calculated at the same time when Kollam was founded, that is in the 9th century.
I'm at the Ashtamadi Lake right now, and right opposite this is Kollam. In fact, I can see some Chinese nets which show a link between ancient China and ancient Kerala. And various of the boats and ferries here are coming from Alappuzha and heading towards Kollam, which I'm just about to enter. I'm at Sangaseri right now, which is about 5 kilometers from Kollam. This place is a lighthouse which is 44 meters in height and has a power light which is visible from about 29 kilometers. Amazing, na? These ruined fortifications and the ancient churches and cemeteries, which date back to the 18th century, depict the historical importance of this little town. And what did you think the color of the banana was? Yellow? Green? You couldn't have imagined this color. Red. This is unbelievable. Red banana. First time in my life. Very exciting. Better than them. Really good.
It's time for me to sit in the car and proceed for the small market town of Kerala, Kollam. Kollam, also known as Kulon, is the southern gateway to the backwaters of Kerala.
I'm going to buy myself loads and loads of cashew nuts, not only because they're cheap, but also because they are much superior quality than any other market.
This peaceful beach out here is the Kottayam beach. One thing I've noticed about this beach is that the water is crystal clear. Near this beach only is the Model Park, another beautiful place here.
This spectacular docudrama's origin dates back around 500 years ago when open-air performances were either held in the courtyard of the temples or the villages. It indeed is a pride for our nation. The makeup starts around 1 hour before the actual program, and the evening begins with the explanation of the symbolism of hand movements, facial gestures and ritualistic gestures. There are over 100 arrangements, all of them based on stories from Ramayana and Mahabharata. Kathakali isn't simply another form of just dancing, it also incorporates elements of yoga and Ayurveda.
Before I bid you goodbye, I must tell you one thing, that Kolam is the last town of the first leg of the journey. So I must remind you and myself all the beautiful experiences we've had. Now, our journey commenced from ancient Hyder Ali's kingdom of Mangalore in Karnataka. Okay folks, it's time for me to say goodbye, but I promise you to meet on the next leg of our journey when I attempt to unravel the great mysteries of our motherland.